forced to give birth in a jailhouse shower after 12 excruciating hours of labor. Now an Alabama woman is fighting back and taking legal action. Plus, who could forget this video? Now that the smoke is cleared, the mayor of Montgomery, Alabama, joins me to talk about the state of his city after the infamous brawl on the riverfront.
I think that we deserve to stay where we are.
This 93-year-old grandmother is getting some major help when it comes to the ongoing fight over her land. What Tyler Perry is doing to help Miss Josephine Wright. Welcome to the Grio. I'm Ebony K. Williams. Could you imagine being in labor for 12 hours all by yourself in a jailhouse shower? Well, that is one Alabama woman's story, and she's now filing a federal lawsuit. It happened in 2021 in Etowah County, just north of Birmingham. The woman says that her cries for help were ignored by all of the jail staff, and now she claims she was only given Tylenol to help ease her pain. She also says that she lost so much blood after giving birth that she passed out. I want to bring in trial attorney Joy White. Joy, thank you so much for being with us. Now, in full disclosure, this woman was arrested for alleged substance abuse use while she was pregnant. Now, her detainment was also reportedly meant to protect her unborn child. Those are just some facts we want to lay out there. But she also says, Joy, that she went into labor and she was told to sleep it off after repeated calls for help. So this is my question to you. If the goal was to protect the unborn baby, shouldn't the staffers have also been making sure that she was getting the medical care and attention she needed as an advanced staged pregnant woman?
Absolutely. And I think the fact that she did not receive that care really highlights the fact that that's probably not why she was actually incarcerated, because Alabama is one of the few states that actually has this law called chemical endangerment, where they actually imprison women who are taking drugs, illegal drugs while they're pregnant, and they incarcerate them during the entirety of the pregnancy. But there's been multiple issues similar to this case where they are not taken care of. They're not treated well. They don't get any of the medical attention that they need. So I think it really highlights that there's probably something else going on here. It's not obviously about saving, the child, because they are not doing what it takes to make sure that the child comes into the world safely.
Right. And Joy, I'm sure that's going to be the nature of her claim, right, is that there was a duty owed to her and this unborn child, right, by the state of Alabama and the protective services that she was in, and that duty was failed. Now, her attorney, Joy, says that she was essentially tortured, right, and that these are civil rights violations as well. That's why we're seeing this play out federally. What are your expectations around what a defense could look like?
I mean, the defense is going to be that probably they did not have the right medical staff internally. They're also going to probably say that they were not aware that she was actually suffering. So they're going to minimize her complaints. They're going to probably rely on having inadequate staffing, inadequate funding to properly provide for women. The problem is they imprisoned her because she was pregnant and taking drugs. So there is a very high duty when the only reason that this particular person was in jail is because she was pregnant and on drugs, and to protect her. So I think, it's going to be hard to defend that when that's the reason that she was taken into jail, because she was pregnant on drugs, but then was not allowed to take care of herself. I also recognize that she has mental health issues that she was not given her medicine for. So I read the complaint. It talked about how she has PTSD, depression, and all of that medication was withheld from her while she was in prison.
Wow. So several alleged breaches there by this municipality here. Now, also, Joy, the complaint, and I think this will also be a challenge for the defense, and I like your take on it. Pattern, right? It's important when we start looking at these types of claims. What has the pattern or modus operandi of the alleged defendant here? And this particular jail we're talking about in Alabama has received several complaints. This is not at all the first. Many other pregnant women have said that similar instances of, breach of duty duty denial of care has happened to them. How will that alleged pattern play into this investigation?
I think it's definitely going to be an issue, and I think what you'll have to look at probably is the race of each of these women and probably the socioeconomic dynamic, if these are women that may have fewer means financially, and or if these women are primarily minorities. I think that would be a very powerful showing that the real reason that they're being imprisoned is not about being pregnant and being on drugs, right? It's about something else. So I think if you look at that pattern and you see that correlation there, where it's either women that are all minorities or primarily of a lower socioeconomic level, I think that's going to be a very compelling point for any jury or judge to look at.
Yeah, particularly, as you say, Joy, if the allegation is rooted in a race discrimination portion of a civil rights violation, which clearly this complaint partly relies upon. Attorney Joy White, I want you to stay with us. On the other side of this break, does the WNBA have a problem with pregnant players? Why the league's currently being accused of discrimination? We'll talk about it next on The Grio.
I'm Torre. Join us for crazy true stories about stars who I really hung out with, like Snoop, Jay-Z, Prince, Kanye, and the time I got kidnapped by Suge Knight. Don't miss my animated series, Star Stories with Torre, from the Grio Black Podcast Network.
Welcome to The Grio, bringing you the stories that move us.
From culture, news, and politics, these are stories told in a way that is meaningful and important for everyone.
From the clean water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi, abortion rights, mental health, and celebrity scoops.
We'll be here every day to keep you on top of what's happening in the world as we know it. The Grio, stories powered by us.
Watch our shows live every weeknight on the Grio cable. Check your local listings.